Hey, so have you been considering living in a 55 plus community? This seems to be a pretty popular subject lately, so I thought I'd touch on it real quick. There's a lot of issues with those, in my opinion. They're very popular in the retirement states, I like to call them, places like Florida, Arizona, Texas, etc. And I don't particularly have an issue with them myself, but there are a lot of cons that go with these types of communities. So we're just going to touch on them real quick. We'll make this short and sweet and be done with it. First off, you have a huge lack of diversity. Everybody's the same age group, and there at least one person in the household to buy and to live there has to be 55. So you're minimizing the age groups there. To go along with that, they have a lot of covenants that limit how much younger people, how long they can stay. So if you have friends and family come that are not not in the older age groups, I've seen people complain and comment that their kids came to visit and they could only stay for a week at a most. So something to keep in mind if you're going to move into a community like that. Secondly, they try to maximize space, so they minimize your room, right? So they put you neck and neck, neighbor to neighbor, and so you get limited on privacy. You don't have much of a yard to work with, which in some cases is good, in other cases not so good. If you're all living in the same apartment building, you're sharing the amenities, so you can lose some privacy that you may be used to having as a homeowner. Third, all these things that they give you as benefits and amenities cost money. Nothing is free. Most of them have very high HOA fees that have to cover those pools and the clubhouses and the gyms and etc. Now, we have the same thing in the apartment that we rent in Florida. However, it's included in the rent. It's not a separate cost above and beyond what my rent costs. It's the amenities of the apartment building are included already. When you buy in a HOA community, you're paying the amenities whether you use them or not. So that's one of the things you have to consider. If you're not going to use the pool, you may not care if you have a pool in your community or not. Another thing to consider is that there's no real health care on site. These are considered I forget how they worded it, but basically you can take care of yourself type community versus a retirement community or a like a senior adult living community where there may be some health professionals on site that if you need them, you can call them. But otherwise, these communities, these 55 plus, are just basically neighborhoods, condominiums, groups, or subdivisions that it's more restricted by age than actual physical health. So consider those things. You're going to have to go to your own provider to get health care if it comes up. And if you need something that's a little bit more robust healthcare wise, then I would consider going to an apartment complex that's for possibly assisted living or at least has graduated steps to get you there if you need it, etc. There's several apartments in the area that I live in Northern Illinois where they furnish and have medical personnel on site and offer meals if you like them, but you don't have to take them. It's not included unless you pay it extra to have it. And one of the other things that you need to consider here, and this is kind of my last point, is that you're limiting your market, so it makes it a lot harder to sell these property when you're done. If somebody has to be 55 plus, then that's the only buyer you can attract. Okay, so obviously, anytime we have an asset, we'd like to be able to sell it so that we have access to the value of that asset if the need arises. You fall into a situation where you need extended health care in a more of a nursing environment, those can be very expensive. You're going to need to sell your house and get your money as quickly as possible. So something to consider. HOA fees, they can be very restrictive. That's one of the biggest things that I noticed, and that's in all HOA communities, but especially with 55 plus ones. So keep that in mind. Thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. Also, just quick side note, we hit 300 subscribers today, so I do appreciate everybody watching. Leave a thumbs up, comment, and let's just continue to learn together. Thanks.